What's immoral but not necessarily illegal? Unplugging your friend's phone to charge your own when visiting their house. Listening to music on your phone on speaker while people are around you. On the bus. For example. You should be taken to a wood thicket and swiftly shot. I agree. If for no other reason than the quality of the sound coming out of these phones is so awful. It makes the best recordings in human history sound like something that comes out of a toy. In Texas. It is illegal to have sex with animals. It is illegal to have sex with a dead human body. You can have sex with all the dead animals you want though. Ike. In Washington. It's illegal to have sex with an animal if it's over 100 pounds. I don't know why they decided that lighter animals could content. But there is that. Cutting in line. A boomer cut me in line at Costco this week. I don't know if I ever wanted to assault a stranger more in my entire life. Don't you learn when you're 5 that shit's not cool? Private equity firms that buy out existing and sustainable companies only to leverage them with as much debt as possible. Bankrupt them. And sell off the assets, leaving all the employees out of work. Communities unserved. And themselves with massive profit. Gambling away the money your spouse set aside for your child's college. Using bots to buy all the PS5s then selling them for double the price. Edit. Some people saying it's illegal. It is in some places. Just not everywhere, including where I am. I wonder what a scalper would do if they bought 10 PS5s and nobody bought from them. Not returning your shopping cart to the corral. The shopping cart is the ultimate litmus test for whether a person is capable of self-governing. To return the shopping cart is an easy, convenient task and one which we all recognize as the correct, appropriate thing to do. To return the shopping cart is objectively right. There are no situations other than dire emergencies in which a person is not able to return their cart. Simultaneously, it is not illegal to abandon your shopping cart. Therefore, the shopping cart presents itself as the apex example of whether a person will do what is right without being forced to do it. Paying someone below min wage and having them make it up with tips. Yeah, I worked a job through high school and some of college where I made $2.13 an hour, which is legal. If we didn't make enough in tips to meet minimum wage, they would yell at us and threaten to fire us because they didn't want to pay out extra. Some of my co-workers over-reported their tips because they were afraid of losing their jobs and came out with less than minimum wage many nights. Leaving meat or dairy on some random unrefrigerated shelf in the grocery store. Fuck you. Also, people who open sealed food products, especially the ones in a glass jar bottle. I've seen people multiple times open jars of curry paste, pickles, cheese spread, fruit preserves, and many other jarred products so they can catch a whiff. If they didn't like the smell, they just put it back on the shelf like it's no big deal. It's sealed for a f***ing reason. Sorry. Charging hundreds of dollars for insulin. MLM schemes. My mum got sucked into Forever Living. It's pretty much an aloe vera cult. There is a great podcast on why they are technically illegal and the shady stuff done to keep them alive, as well as a look into how they affect the lives of those drawn into them. If you are interested, check out The Dream Season 1. Cannibalism is not illegal, at least in the US, if the person who you eat isn't murdered and in there will request to be eaten. There's a whole tribe in India. The Aga get the flesh from corpses floating down the river, never directly off a burning pirate or ghat, which family members push into the Ganges River if they don't have enough money for cremation. And under the privacy of the new moon, they chant mantras, make offerings to Shiva, and consume it. Faking a pregnancy to trap a guy. Watching the next episode in the series without your watching partner. Since the holidays are approaching, getting a dog or other pet as a surprise Christmas present for your child, only to give it away when you realize you're not equipped to care for it. Or deciding you don't want a pet anymore because you got pregnant and think a baby and pets at the same time is too much to handle, so they just leave the pets outside one day confused as to what they did wrong. Fuck my neighbors. Man. managed to adopt one of their cats out so far. Making researchers pay to have their work published. Charging fees to anyone who wants to view the work. And not giving anything back to the researchers. Loaning money to desperate people at insane interest rates through payday loans. My mom was stuck in a payday loan cycle for basically all of my high school years. I honestly don't resent the people who own those places that much. You gotta do what you gotta do to survive in this miserable country. It's the politicians who allow that shit to be legal that really piss me off. They're the ones making the moral choice. Banks are bad enough. But payday loans businesses are the lowest scum. They charge 0.1% below the legal limit for loans. Add on all kinds of fees. Set up smack in the middle of the poorest, densest neighborhoods. And advertise themselves as if they're giving money away for free. There's a reason why Dante put usurers lower in hell than even sodomites. That said, can't say I haven't been grateful on occasion for a payday loan. In the US, rural dialysis clinics can refuse to treat a patient for reasons unrelated to safety or health and force that person to travel long distances multiple times a week for care. For the unaware, not getting dialysis when you need it will kill you. Refusing to vaccinate your kids because you're one of those morons who think vaccines contain heavy metals, microchips, fetal DNA, and Satan's urine. Completely immoral. But sadly not illegal, yet. It's a very delicate topic because where do we draw the line if the government starts forcing vaccines into people? Will they pay for it? How do you regulate it accurately? All we can ethically do is educate people in schools and hope they make the right decisions afterwards. Watching hardcore pornography with the sound on public transit. Taking an upper decker. The dreaded upper decker. A revenge tactic only to be used in response to the most egregious of acts. No real harm done except for the psychological effect. Use with caution. Private prison system. Because of this, the US has the highest incarceration rate in the entire world. Significantly higher than Russia, which is the second highest country. Insane hospital prices. No one knows how much they charge for stuff. For all we know, they could just be making up numbers until your bill reaches an insane amount. Taking more than one piece of candy from an unattended bowl on Halloween. One time someone walked up and dumped all the candy into the pillowcase. Funniest thing is his sister made him return it. Being filthy rich and starting some foundation or the like and using it as a tax shelter. That's why they named them after themselves, because that's where the money goes. Driving around town with your remote. Changing people's channels. Male genital mutilation, infant circumcision. Which of course is illegal in most industrialized countries but legal in the US. It's also legal in the UK if you have a valid reason, such as religious ones. I never knew how wrong it was until I was told by guys who've had it done. Apparently Halliburton can get away with causing the biggest environmental accident in American history. Asking money for false reasons. Drafting people to war. Especially before they're able to drink. Seriously. Raise draft age to 21 or lower drinking age to 18. Most types of are paid by deception. Buying something to use it once and then returning it. Eating an entire tomato in front of your cousin without offering them a single bite. Ooh. I know this one. My uncle has Down syndrome and attends a local developmental workshop where they are taught skills and placed in the community to work. It came out that his caseworker, female, was sexually abusing him in the bathrooms at work, and when police were involved it was discovered that, in our state at least, it couldn't be considered RP when the female is the aggressor. Other minor charges were filed, but this blew me away. Immoral? OFCK yes. Illegal? Nope. Farting and then blaming it on your dog, your cat, your kids, your partner, your neighbors, your co-workers, your boss, random strangers, other people in the elevator, other mourners at the funeral, the deceased, Your invisible friend farty fartalotomus et al. Fucking a cousin. If there are no children being produced, can you explain the ethical issue here? Whatever consenting adults do between each other is of no trespass. No trespass, no ethical issue. Running the only healthcare system in a country as a business. Private healthcare is fine when it's there as an optional extra. Nobody should worry that an unexpected trip to the hospital will bankrupt them though. The laws encompassing animal abandonment are either nebulous or redundant in many countries. Abandonment always an abominable choice, but some labor under the misapprehension that the owner can be prosecuted for callous disregard for their pets. Sententious Westerners can be too parochial when some countries don't even have any animal protest mandates. Circumcision. Seriously, I'd like to see the person who came up with "hey, let's cut part of this baby's genitals off" when they have no consent. That would be an awesome idea. Only reason to do it is if they have a condition. Forget what it's called, but it's when the foreskin won't pull back. As for doing it or religion, NIDK. It's what you believe in. But on the other hand, why do you believe in cutting off a baby's genitals? Like seriously. Why? Parents who push their kids into show business against their wishes. Tax avoidance. It's entirely legal unlike its brother. Tax evasion. Avoidance brings a lot of negative connotation to the term. I think tax fairness or not overpaying are more to the point. But if tax avoidance becomes illegal, it'll be called tax evasion. And basically tax rates go up. Posting an ad on Craigslist promising $25 an hour for Antifa protesters to cause chaos in Nebraska. 90% of the shitty corrupt politicians do to profit themselves. Plot twist. They get to decide what should and shouldn't be illegal. Kicking out refusing to treat someone at a hospital if they don't have insurance. Animal pornography. Most people thinks it's illegal, but I look up porn once and after scrolling a lot found a porn station calls it a bit was disgusting. Animal porn should be illegal. Not trying to help when someone is drowning. Hopefully you mean not calling for help. Both by phone and vocally. Jumping in to save someone can be bad. If you don't know what you're doing, you could just end up a victim. Also, most people cannot swim as well as they think they can. All of the tax codes that benefit only billionaires. I mean, they all were illegal until the lobbyists were friends with the right people and changed the laws. Psychological abuse. Malicious parenting, including psychological abuse. Shutting a friend's game console or PC off during a pivotal moment where they're completely into it. Factory farming. By far, it's the worst evil in existence. Because of the scale of it. Something like 70 billion animals a year never know any happiness and only know suffering and a violent death because people don't want to give up some amount of mouth pleasure.